This is a replay of Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai Avatar Conquest, where I'm trying to level up my avatar, Maximus Decimus Meridius. I'm coming up against FTS Der Ossi, or Ossi, I don't know how that's pronounced, in a land battle. I've only played land battles. Naval battles look like a massive clusterfuck. I might try them as well, but I want to learn land battles for the time being. Maybe get into some tournaments later on, when I'm a bit better at the game. So, the Battle of Osaka Plain. Quite like this map. I mean, the maps in Fall of the Samurai are... most of them are really, really good and a lot of fun. So, my build consists of 3 Yari Ki, I really like those units, 2 Boki, really like those units as well, the poor man's gun cavalry. They will take a lot of time killing enemy units, but they have great range and mobility. So, I have my general there, 3 Yari Ki, 2 red bears on each flank. Let's see, or no, I have 6 red bears actually. So, some people go by maximum 4 of the same unit, some people go for a maximum of 6. But or some people just don't care and just spam the hell out of units. But I like to go for max 4 or max 6. I'm going to capture the shrine. It's going to be important because it's going to increase my morale. I'm also going to go for the archery dojo, and since I have Boki, this can potentially be huge if this game draws on, because it's going to allow my Boki to reload faster, and it's also going to allow my Boki to reload its ammunition. So my opponent has a strong position in terms of terrain here. If he can stay in the forest and create overlapping fields of fire, I basically have no chance. And I'm going to take these 2 dojos, then I'm going to try to sneak up and take this dojo as well. My opponent is going to take this dojo, but it's arguably the least important dojo on this battlefield, because it's a farmhouse. Now my opponent, he also has a lot of red bears, let's say 3, 4, I think he has 6 red bears as well, 4 Yari Ki that are in hiding, and then his general. So a slight cavalry advantage for my opponent in terms of melee cavalry, but I have my Boki, and my Boki are going to be massive in this battle. I'm just going to fast forward a bit because there's going to be a lot of extended skirmishing, getting some nice shots off on his red bears there. And you can see Boki, they don't have as devastating volleys as gun infantry, but they are getting kills here. Already down to 106 men for this red bear, so against my red bears, this red bear is going to do a lot worse than it would have earlier. I'm going to do a bit of scouting, and I see my opponent has 2 Katana Kachi and 4 Yari Ki. Managed to kite away there and get out of... they would have absolutely destroyed my Boki. So I'm going to keep running back and forth. Boki can't fire in 360, so I have to continually move back and forth and get shots off, pull away, get shots off, pull away. Keep killing his cavalry units, because since he has more cavalry than me, I want to damage these units so my cavalry can defeat his decisively. And I do have some upgrades on my Yari Ki, 2 attack and 2 attack on both Yari Ki units, I believe. Getting some nice shots off here. This is what I really like about Fall of the Samurai. You can create traps like this, overlapping fields of fire, bait them in with the Yari Ki and allow the red bears to do a lot of damage. He did the same thing to me here. I got some shots off on my Boki, and I lost a lot of Boki. They are super fragile units, but again, they're racking up the kills there against the red bear infantry, so this is going to be very important when the line engagement starts. Also killing a lot of his Yari Ki, and he doesn't really have a good response for my Boki there. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and pick away at his units. Try to snipe his general, but I'm getting massacred by units in hiding here. I couldn't see them. I probably should have figured that his general was bait here, but nicely done there by my opponent. So I managed to kill some of his bodyguard, but not nearly enough to make that engagement good for me. Moving back in, back out with the Yari Ki, with the Boki. They are They managed to take down some of the general's bodyguard, but nothing major yet. I'm going to start moving up very, very slowly. My opponent is probably weak on this side of the battlefield because he is because he's so concentrated over here. So I'm going to start making my push, making my advance. I have to be very careful because my opponent is enjoying a decisive terrain advantage. Moving up here and getting some shots off with my red bears, but then they start doing weird stuff because they lose line of sight. But that is going to... I'm just going to pull back. I lost a lot of red bears there. Use my bow key to continue to damage his Katana Kachi. And also keep damaging his... these Yariki have lost a lot of men to my bow key. So I'm going to be a bit sneaky here, try to move up and take, or at least try to contend the dojo by moving my units very close. And again, just running up, doing damage with the bow key, and they don't require line of sight or a direct line of fire like the units, the gun units. Now, I did get my one bow key attacked while I was microing over here. I'm getting some really nice shots off on his red bear infantry. It's going to start routing even though it was in the forest. So this is good. Now his Yariki are not upgraded, so I'm probably able to defeat his Yariki with my upgraded Yariki, since his Yariki is so depleted. Now I'm going to try to capture the farmhouse here because he doesn't have any units on the farmhouse anymore. He's going to move around my flank here, but he's going to spend a lot of time, and I have, which gives me the time to set up my lines a bit. Engaging him head on in this forest is probably going to be disastrous for me, although I have depleted some of these units with Boki. I'm probably just going to get shot to pieces if I try to engage him in the forest there. His red bear came back from hiding, from routing I mean. And I'm just trying to create overlapping fields of fire everywhere, so if he rushes, then I can pour fire into him while he rushes. Keep the Yariki in close support so he can't rear charge my red bears, because getting red bears rear charged by Yariki is going to be devastating, might just break them. So now we have sort of a standoff. Just going to fast forward while the standoff is there. I'm going to move up a few units here towards the forest, getting shot, getting a few shots off. This is the black tortoise, so I'm sort of sacrificing the black tortoise in order to move up my red bears and not take fire on the red bears. They are the more important unit. Keep my Yariki here to stop his flanking force. And although he is in the forest here, he is sort of getting shot on several units, both on the Katana Kachi and on the red bears. Chasing away his cavalry with my own cavalry, and then just pouring the fire into these Katana Kachi and into the red bear units. So his Katana Kachi might make it to my lines here, but I'm just going to stand and shoot because I see that I'm doing a lot of damage to them. The Katana Kachi don't really stand a chance here. And here comes the flanking move from the Yariki. I'm going to respond with my own Yariki and try to catch his Yariki, keep my Boki in close support. And the Katana Kachi losing so many men here. Probably losing some men to friendly fire as well. So my upgraded Yariki charging into the enemy doesn't get a charge, and that is going to absolutely wreck his Yariki. Getting charges in cavalry engagements is absolutely massive. So I have several units now able to fire at his units. His Yariki are making it into the side of this red bear unit, but there are so many units being able to fire, being able to rear charge them. And I'm taking unnecessary fire on my Yariki here, but I just want to make sure that this Yariki is not going to come back. Then I'm going to run my Yariki around his flanks. And he's losing a lot of red bears here, even though he has the superior terrain position. And now that I'm able to... I have all farmhouses, and I'm able to move around his flanks unopposed with my Yariki. It's basically a GG. But my opponent is going to try to... He's going to make a heroic last stand here in the forest. Taking fire on this red bear, but I'm mainly focused on getting my my Yariki into his Katana Kachi, charging his general here. He has some more Katana Kachi in the forest, which is not good for my Yariki, but being able to rear charge all of these units is massively worth it. So a rear charge plus the general dying should make his units start wavering and breaking, and indeed they do. So use the what's it called, the infantry flogging something retainer, which is going to reduce the morale of the enemy infantry. One in the forest here, and now I'm just going to swamp this unit of red bears with my Yari Kachi. And that's a GG. This unit of red bears broke as well, or maybe my opponent conceded. So, another battle that I really enjoyed. I'm glad I brought the bow key in this battle, because it allowed me to nullify his cavalry advantage. And of course, getting the charge with my Yariki was just devastating. Battles are so fast, and if you make a mistake in this, in Fall of the Samurai, it's going to punish you severely. And luckily in this case, the mistake was... most mistakes belong to my opponent, although I made some mistakes as well. So I had 6 red bears, 1 black tortoise, 3 Yariki. The Yariki did a lot of work, and I'm very impressed by how many kills the Boki got here. Some of the red bears did well. For my opponent, his Yariki nullified, wasn't able to do much. He had four of them, then 2 Katana Kachis and 6 red bears. So it looks like me and my opponent sort of had the same idea, but me bringing the Boki allowed me to out-skirmish him significantly. And my line infantry advantage wasn't a decisive one, but him bringing Katana Kachi that basically did nothing. I think that's what cost my opponent the game. That and getting his cavalry charge, of course, because he had a very strong position in the forest there, but it was sort of a campy situation where he had a strong position, but he lost map control because he had most of his units concentrated in that forest. So hope you enjoyed this battle. I really enjoyed it. Strength and honor.